Welcome into the live stream. Welcome into the live stream, everybody. Just doing a quick market update. See what's happening in the market. Want to talk to the chat for the people that tune into the chat. I'll just be paying attention to the chat for now. And, just streaming in silence if the chat is not really saying much. That's okay. Let me make the chat a pop-out chat and see here. This way I could keep it on screen. So right now, Bitcoin sitting just below $75,000. A lot of people think that we're just gonna have a bounce to 80K and that's it. I'm not sure. I'm personally not sure if it's the overall bottom of the market or not. I can't honestly tell you, man, because last year was supposed to be the euphoric alt season. Last year was the year everyone was supposed to get super rich. But I can't say there wasn't opportunities if you paid attention to what's happening in the market, right? If you played Solana, if you were playing Solana in the 2023 to 2024 bull run, and you paid attention to like the timeline or crypto Twitter, you would know, like, even if you didn't get in Solana at the exact low, you would have already saw like Bonk start to explode, and then if you missed Bonk, you could have got like Whiff or Popcat as like a catch-up trade, right? And that took place from the end of 2023 to the end of 2024, right? That was like the bull run, right? Obviously, you saw Sui do a massive move as well. Sui, right here. I don't know why it's not loading properly. Sui had a few projects on chain that did well also. Sui did like a 10x from the low. Yeah, just around a 10x, just about, yeah. If you got in at the end of 2023 and you held for this first pump, came back down, you got a 10x move. And that was with, token unlocks as well. It had 10% circulating for Sui, and now it's only at 39% circulating. And it's still holding up pretty well, even with the token unlocks. So if you traded on-chain Sui, there was opportunities as well, like with Blob and Fud the dog, etc. So there was also a bit of a move with Ton. Ton did okay, 2023 to 2024. Nothing too crazy. Went from $1 to actually that was pretty good. That's like a 7-8x. Yeah, 7-8x. Yeah. Okay. So that was the bull run, guys. 2023 to 2024. Let's go, Nick. Thanks for joining the chat. So, since the bull run was 2023 to 2024, clearly we're in a bear market now. And since we're in a bear market, typically bear markets last for about a year. But if last year we end the bull run on apathy and not euphoria, I could say the bear market started last year in 2025, maybe even the summer of last year, in my opinion. Because I was trading the markets last year and it was absolutely horrendous. The worst markets to trade. Or maybe I just got too comfortable with a 2024 market where it felt a lot easier to trade, right? But we'll see. I'm playing it by ear, guys. I'm playing it by ears. Because I'm not a macro analyst, and I obviously have my own opinions, but I could be wrong, As far as the macro goes, I think the bottom could be in the summer, right? The top analyst that's been here since way longer than I have, they think the bottom will be in Q4 of this year, right? But some of the projects that we cover on the channel are doing extremely well. As you can see, the fear and greed is back into neutral. So like I stated, even though we have on-chain projects that aren't going up, or projects that some of you guys hold, altcoins that aren't going up, we're exiting extreme fear, right? We exited extreme fear. That'd have been a good time to DCA. So maybe when we get over to greed, right, over here in greed, maybe that's when you start to see the altcoins that I cover on the channel, or the ones that you hold, start showing more strength, right? Thank you for the XCN videos. Hey, thanks so much for tuning in, Nick. Truly appreciate it. I'm gonna do like, to finish off the video, I'm gonna go through like each of these altcoins and see where we're standing. So we're going into we're going into greed now. We're in neutral now, in the fear and greed. So I think when we get into greed, maybe we see some moves in the altcoins. But I'm not sure, man. The market, in my opinion, these market conditions are extremely tough, man. They are. And if anybody's telling you otherwise, I don't think they're actually trading the market. You have to be trading the market to know if the market conditions are tough, because most of the coins aren't moving, right? Bitcoin, we're back in neutral, and most of the coins aren't moving. So I don't know where to sway on this, right? Are we gonna bottom the end of Q4, or going into Q4 this year, the end of the year? Or are we gonna bottom in the summer, or are we gonna bottom all the way out next year, 2027? It's really left to be seen. So the only thing I could do is just, instead of trying to time the market and predicting the exact bottom and all of that other stuff, DCN the projects that I like, right? If I got $100, $200, I got $1,000, 5K, 10K, whatever an amount that I'm willing to lose, right? I'll just DCA into projects that I like. That's it. Buy an amount that I'm happy with, and then trade the market that I'm given, right? So right now we're having a bounce, but if it doesn't even feel like, it doesn't feel bullish to me. It really doesn't, right? We have Banker. I talked about Banker on the channel, sitting at 50 mil market cap. Let's take a look at XCN for Nick, right? XCN having a nice bounce, right? You love to see that. I talked about DCN into XCN around 2046. So now you're already in profits with XCN. That's great to see. 225 million market cap. So XCN doing okay, right? One of the coins actually showing a bit of strength here. You got to respect that. Happy to see that, right? But as far as like the overall market of the coins, like, they're not going up, man. They're not. They're staying sideways or consolidated, which is great, but I need to see movement, man. I need to see coins go up again. It feels like the coins, just no matter how much you're in the market, this, at least from middle of last year to now, it just feels like no matter, the bears are just running rampant, right? ZBCN holding 202, which is great to see. Consolidating here, fantastic stuff, So they're holding, but as far as like strength, man, I'm not seeing the upside moves, right? XRP up 10%. That's pretty good to see. XRP showing some strength here. Oh, you know what is very interesting as well? XRP is up 10%. XCN looks to be following XRP a bit. If you look at both charts, right, on the 1 month time frame, that's pretty interesting to see. Maybe my thesis will play out, where XCN is like the undervalued XRP before people take notice of that. You think we'll chop sideways between 80K and 90K, Randy? Okay. If we get above 80K, you just, all of the, bears are invalidated. If we get above 80K, a lot of people think that we're going to see 80K and then reject that 80K. That's what a lot of people think is going to happen, right? So we get to 80K and then reject, and then that's when we, start the final leg down. But if we get above 80K and stay between 80 to 90K, the bottom is in. The bottom is in, and maybe we have one more retest to 60K if we range at 80 to 90K. One more retest back down to 60K, and that's the absolute bottom for the market if we range at between 80 to 90K, Randy. So it's still a bull run. I think it's not necessarily a bull run. I think it's just the quickest bear market. That's personally what I think. I think the bear market ends in summer, because last summer to now, the market has just been terrible. It's just been the worst market ever, right? So I think it's just the shortest bear market, personally. Now, that's the thing. I could be wrong. And then the bear market extends to the end of the year. But I've been saying, in my honest opinion, think this run will touch 210K Bitcoin. We need to. We need to see real strength and outperformance from Bitcoin again. We need to see that. I really think we need to see that, because gold has outperformed Bitcoin, silver, you know, stocks. Bitcoin is not showing that strength. Now, you could argue, well, Bitcoin is, you know, went from 15K, 20K all the way up to 120K. Okay, I'll let you have that. But if you bought Nvidia stock, you'd have done better buying Nvidia. You'd have done better buying Nvidia if you stocks aren't supposed to outperform Bitcoin. You'd have been better off buying Nvidia, man. Nvidia went up like what, 20x, some crazy number. Let me see Nvidia. Bitcoin needs to be way more pumpy, man. Look at this. Look at this. Crazy. Look at Nvidia, man. Insane. Bitcoin needs to be way more pumpy for the market to be truly bullish, in my opinion. ETH outperforming BTC then alt season. I can see that, man. You know, Ethereum was very weak this cycle. And that's why I think a lot of people are, you know, a lot of people say this bull run that we're in, I think we're in a bear market personally. And they were going to have the shortest bear market. But a lot of people say that I think 2023 to 2024 was its own cycle. And then 2025, because we didn't end 2025 on euphoria, we ended it on apathy. The bear market already started sometime in 2025. I don't know when, but sometime in 2025, the bear market started. So I think that's why I say maybe the summer is when the bottom is in, right, for the market. That's what I think. I could be wrong. But Ethereum did not perform this cycle, this 2023 to 2024 cycle, man. It really didn't perform that well. You know, it did what, a 4x? If it went to $10,000 and it performed like Solana did, it went to 10,000 because it barely made a new high, right? If it went to 10,000, a lot of people would have been saying 2023 to 2024 was a good cycle. It was okay. It was good, right? Excuse me. If it did that, but it didn't. So maybe this is what I'm saying, right? When we have the liquidity floodgates finally open, we got a new Fed chair. The Clarity Act goes live. See right here today, the Senate Banking Committee is meeting on the Clarity Act. Regulatory clarity is drawing even closer. When the clarity is achieved, XRP will be the asset that benefits the most. Not only XRP, we are taking a look at ZBCN, XCN, XPR. I think these projects will do extremely well. Quant as well too, right? So let's see. Let's take a look at this.
Able to be entitled an act relating to payment stablecoin.
Senator Burton, you are recognized to explain that bill.
Thank you, Mr. President. Senator, Senate Bill 314 creates a comprehensive regulatory framework for payment stablecoin issuers in Florida. It aims to integrate state oversight with federal standards, specifically the Federal Genius Act, to ensure consumer protection and financial stability. This bill permits OFR to apply for the state to be the regulator of stablecoin issuers payment systems here in Florida. It's important that we do this today, so I'd appreciate your support.
Secretary will unlock the board and senators will proceed to vote. Have all senators voted? Secretary will lock the board and record the vote.
37 yeas, 0 nays, Mr. President.
All right. There's a crypto bill update. Brian Armstrong speaking about it as well. Facts, ETF inflows. It's going to be a good year this year, especially for XCN. I truly believe it. That's great that you have conviction, Nick. That's what you need in the space. Always have conviction, right? Don't invest emotionally. Invest with strategy and have conviction, and it pays off. It really does, right? I'm telling you, like, retail interest for the market is near like negative right now. There's no retail interest, no retail investors. Most people in this space have been in this space for a long time. And if they're new, it's like less than 1% of people that like join in the space that what you'd see like any other time in crypto, man. It's insane. So crypto bill update, Coinbase CEO Brian Armstrong says President Donald Trump is pushing hard for the Clarity Act. If passed, clear rules could unlock 1 to 2 trillion in institutional capital. Trump may sign this bill. Let's take a look. So Brian, this is Brian Armstrong, CEO Coinbase.
Administration has been incredible on this. President Trump setting the tone from the top, naming David Sachs as the crypto czar, Patrick Witt, and then the Senate has been incredible as well. So they're meeting, as far as I can tell, daily on this to try to move this forward, and they just deserve a ton of credit. So all we've tried to do is behind the scenes be constructive, lay out potential solutions that can be a good win-win outcome for crypto and the banks. And I feel confident they'll get something done.
Is it moving forward with these rewards in place for stablecoin?
Yes, there's a small list of remaining open items, and I think that if a compromise can be found, this will get to the president's desk for a signature in a few months.
Awesome stuff. And a lot of people haven't paid attention, but the e-staking ETF that I've been mentioning in video is live. So DeFi protocols, right? XCN, ZBCN, Monad, Quan as well too, with interoperability. A lot of these projects are going to benefit from this, right? They're going to benefit from the e-staking ETF because now we got Wall Street having an appetite for ETH products, right? 50K XCN minimum and you'll be all right. What's up? What up, Jovi? What's up, Ortho? So Gideon is in the Discord. If you guys haven't joined the Discord, it's a free Discord. Link to it is in the description. Just so it, I could have people to talk with, right? Just communicate with each other. Any insights we could share, right? XCN will touch at least 40 cents. It's possible, Randy. It is possible. I wouldn't rule it out. Now, this is the thing though. As I say, if you see like a 10 cents at XCN, man, and you are in at these prices, 205, 206, take some profits, man. It's never wrong to take profits. Sold out my ISO for Cass. Shout out to Mr. J Blockdag. I used to cover Cass a lot on the channel. I personally like Cass still, right? I think it'll do well. Cass is one of those ones that'll do well, man. It's a good altcoin. ETFs are the only reason BTC didn't dip lower than 60K. We're seeing mass adoption, but now a lot of people say because we have mass adoption, and because we have the institutions, TradFi, etc., investing, that's why we're not, this is why we're not seeing the same type of runs that we saw, in previous cycles, right? I know people in 2020 to 2021, that cycle right there, that's the one that really, drew me to crypto, because I got in crypto around 2021 area, right? And that's where, that was a fantastic cycle for people. 2023 to 2024, in my opinion, wasn't that great. It was okay, but it was so but it's the thing. There's so many new coins now, 37 million coins. Anybody can launch a coin. The market has changed drastically. So now you have to be like researching and taking your time to find like good altcoins. You have to be so on point, right? The difficulty has increased, man. It really has. But it's still possible. And like I said, I think with the Clarity Act, the Genius Act, new Fed chair, lower interest rates, all of these things set up for better liquidity in the market, and I think that's where we'll see a change, right? So as I was saying before I checked on the chat, so the BlackRock Ethereum ETF, staking ETF, is live, which means that BlackRock could earn DeFi on their ETH ETF, right? Earning DeFi, like APR, like so you stake, you get like 5%. So DeFi and staking is a sector that did extremely well in 2021. We had something called DeFi summer, and I think DeFi projects will start to take off again. We'll have another renaissance of DeFi, if you will. So projects like XCN has DeFi with staking and LP pools that I cover on the channel. ZBCN has DeFi with their super app, etc. Monad has that as well, right? So pay attention to this, because I really think we're going to see a resurgence of DeFi. So I think this was not talked about enough, because so many people hate ETH And ETH is the reason why we get massive alt seasons, right? I was trading on ETH recently. It's not expensive anymore to trade on ETH. It's still slow, but it's not expensive anymore. So it's like, you know, I don't know why people hate ETH so much, man, but this is why the previous bull run wasn't as great, man, because all of the liquidity went to Solana. And if you didn't trade Solana memes or got in Solana under $20, this past cycle was the worst cycle for people that hold Polkadot, Cardano, right? I don't know why it's not loading here. Avalanche, look at Avalanche's price action this bull run, man. Subpar. And these are like the top L1s, man. Subpar price action, I'm telling you. Look at Polkadot. Subpar. Look at how this chart looks. Oh my goodness. These are the projects that made people millions in 2020 to 2021. It's insane. It's really insane. For sure, you got to take profits. Yeah, 2021 was fire. Pax Gold coming out with USD GK, dollar backed by the gold. Might be on cast. Okay, very interesting. Doge did its thing. Doge did do its thing. XCN be layer 1 from layer 3 after Goliath. Right now, I think it's still basically in line with this, you know, it still all works together. It still all works together. So even if, so basically like this, right? You see how they have liquidity on Ethereum and base chain for now that it's a layer 3 protocol. When they're layer 1, you could still use the XCN chain, etc. So everything will work just the same. I don't think they'll take the liquidity from Ethereum and base. I'm not sure about that. But when it does go live, expect faster throughput, expect cheaper fees, expect more liquidity as well. You know, maybe we even finally get to see more mass adoption as well, right? That's what I'm looking for the most out of this. I'm looking for more mass adoption where, you know, they secure traditional investors, TradFi, corporate investors, one step at a time, right? People pay attention to that. That's what I want to see personally. And again, as long as these projects keep building, no matter what market conditions, I'm bullish, man. So a lot of projects, take a look around, man. They're not doing well. You guys, like for example, remember Sonic? A lot of people made money on Phantom, man. Remember Phantom? A lot of people did well on Phantom, man. Like, it really feels like the toughest time period to be a crypto investor. I don't know if it's just me that feels like that, but it really does feel like the toughest time to be a crypto investor, man. That's just me though. Axelar, let's see. I remember this. Yeah, AXL. Yeah, so this was, I think what happened here is they you know, sold their technology to a company, and they never let the token holders get equity in that. So that's just sold off massively, man. It's tough. It really is. This is why I always say, and I always say it, never invest more than you're willing to lose. Never invest more than you're willing to lose, guys. Nothing is guaranteed. Never invest more than you're willing to lose. Top 5 projects. I don't really have like top 5s, top 10s, etc. because it's ever changing, right? I have projects that I like. You know, some of them I don't cover on the channel. Some of them I don't even have exposure to, but I think they'll do well. Like Hyperliquid, for example. That's a great project. You know, Hyperliquid. Tau, a lot of people is bullish on Tau. Me personally, I like the projects I cover on the channel, right? That's what I like. The ones I cover. You know, I like Monad, I like XCN, I like ZBCN, I like Quant, I like Banker Coin on Base and Coinbase. That's the ones I like. But there's a lot of great projects out there, man. So it's up to you to do your own research and make your decisions based on that. You know, Chainlink is a great project. You can't say Chainlink isn't a great project. right? So I can't really say, oh, this is my top 5 or top 10. How about Supra? I saw people were bullish on Supra. Dang. Oh my gosh. What happened here, man? But you see, this is the thing, right? Projects could make a comeback. They can. They can, right? You might be like, oh, this is not a good time to buy this project. If you're bullish on it, you did your research, the team is still building, right? And they're still active, they're still pushing, the community is still there. These projects could make a comeback. That's the how it works in crypto. Typically, most people would say now is a terrible time. Now, you know, this project is dead. Not now is a terrible time, but they say, oh, this project is dead. It's not going anywhere. Somebody, you know, out there is probably buying the fear. They believe in the project, and then who knows? Maybe it makes a comeback. That's where the you know, the speculation of crypto comes in, right? That's where the speculation comes in. So let's see. I've been streaming for how long? 26 minutes now. I just thank y'all so much for tuning in, man. 30 viewers, 8 concurrent viewers. Leave a like on the stream, guys. Probably end off the stream here. I'm not seeing much people talk anymore, so leave a like on the stream. ICP, don't even bring up ICP, man. This is the thing, as I said, people might be like, ICP's dead, and then something changes, right? Things change fast in crypto. This is why you have to adapt, right? Like, for example, this. A lot of people are looking at projects like Harmony One. Remember Harmony One, VeChain, you know, Harmony One, VeChain, all of these types of, they're great projects. You can't say they're great. They aren't great projects. ICP, etc. And people have been holding DCA for years, And look what's happening here with VeChain. New lows, or low, almost as low as its previous low back in 2020, right? But again, things could turn around fast. But you have to adapt. You have to be willing to adapt to the market. If something is changing, something is happening, you have to adapt. Like, for example, with Solana and the Solana memes, if you wanted a good bull run, you should have been like, oh man, I'm gonna cut some of these projects I have, maybe 50%, cut some, and, you know, mess around with the Solana ecosystem, and then boom, you might be a person that turned $300 into $1 million on one of these memes. So that's how it is, man. ICP is a sleeping giant. That's what I'm saying, because you never really know. A project's chart could be down bad, and all of a sudden, out of nowhere, it starts making its move. You take a look at XCN, for example, right? I was not paying attention to XCN. Look at how the chart, you know, fell, and I was not paying attention to XCN at that time. And then all of a sudden, I'm checking deck screen. I'm seeing on YouTube, everybody's talking about this project. I'm like, what is this? I never knew this project existed. I'm telling you, never knew this project existed. This was back in 2024, end of 2024, right? Going into 2025, the massive move. And now it's starting to perform better than projects that are way higher in market cap. You know, so that's why, like I said, things could turn around. You have to be willing to adapt. You should have been on Sol, exactly, ever since they came out with Helium mobile phones. Yeah, I know people are bullish on Helium as well. So for me, it's like not a top 5. I'm willing to readjust and adapt to the market. I'm looking for opportunities, right? That's how I treat this market, you know. Z-Trex. I've never heard of Z-Trex or Z-Trix. Price has been static. It's crazy. Probably take off. XCN to $1. One D-Man. Thanks for tuning into the stream. It's possible. It's possible, man. $1 XCN. Possible. It's how long you're willing to hold, though. This is why I say, man. If you see a 10-cent XCN, 20-cent XCN, even 5-cent XCN, take some profits. It don't have to be your entire bag. Just 10 to 20% profits. You're not gonna see me here be moon boy for any project, be super moon boy, right? But if you take a look at XRP was at the same price XCN is, ZBCN is, right? 2 zeros 4, 2 zeros 5, and XRP went all the way up to $3 in 2015 to 2018. Now, a lot of people will argue and say, well, it's not the same market. Back then, they only had like less than 10,000 coins. That's true. So that's why I say we have to adapt. We have to, you know, be like, we have to be like water in this space. we have to flow with the motions, right? Made a decent ROI XCN in Jan 2025. Good, great to see that, Randy. People sleeping on ZBCN. I'm telling you, D-man. Ztrix is China blockchain of choice. Okay, never heard of it. Thanks for the info, though. ZBCN, again, I think same spot. 202. It was recently at 204, right? Could see a massive move here. 5 cents, 10 cents, maybe 30 cents. Long enough time frame, genius. Maybe the next alt season or the next bull run of the market. You know, that's why I say ISO compliant projects, even though XCN isn't under ISO compliance yet, I still think what it's trying to achieve it'll pull off something massive still, right? But I still think, you know, projects that fall in line with that, XCN, XLM, XRP, XDC, XCN, ZBCN, Flare Network, I think these HBAR, I think these projects are going to do extremely well in the future. I think this sector right here, or these types of projects in that lane, are going to be great bets. Kita network. I know about Kita. You know, I fumbled Kita. I bought Kita under 2 cents, and I sold too quick. I didn't, and that's why I say you have to have strategy, right? Sold out my whole bag. Never do that. Sell like 20%, 30%, keep in some more, take profits on the way up. Just like you DCA on the way down, take profits on the way up. One thing that a lot of people don't have, which maybe I should set up like a newsletter or article, is like taking profits. There's no like great strategies for profit taking in this space, and we need more of that, right? So people could you know, not round trip. You know how many people be round tripping their bags and not taking profits in the best way, and not wrecking the charts either, right? Because obviously you don't want to wreck your chart that you're bullish on. Same way you DC on the way down, you take profits on the way up. But I think Kita is a good one as well. Probably, like I said, a lot of projects are down bad. Has the potential to make a comeback. That chart look fire. You talking about the Kita chart, Randy? Yeah, Kita, man. It's a layer 1 as well. Has supposedly backing by Google. So we'll see what happens with that, you know. I don't really talk about it on my channel, but it's a good one. But like I was saying, I think this sector here, ISO compliant, XRP, XPR, Link, XLM, HBAR, Quant, ZBCN, XCN, XPR, I think these are the projects, Metal blockchain, I think those are the projects that the typical retail investors, they're going to see XRP continue to do well, and they're going to speculate on things that are undervalued, that haven't done as well yet. And they're going to be like, yo, XRP is up to like $10, $20. What could be the next XRP, right? They're going to be trying to play catch up. That's my thesis there. So I don't think it's a bad thesis, to be honest. What do y'all think in the chat? Randy, D-Man, what do y'all think? Rashad. But yeah, man. Let's see where we at on the stream. 34 minutes into the stream. Leave a like on the stream, guys, if you're tuning in. Really appreciate all the support. You guys are fantastic for supporting the channel. So we'll, like I said, we're gonna play it by ear. Let's see what happens when Bitcoin potentially gets to that 80K level. Let's see what happens. Really appreciate everyone for tuning into the live stream. It really helps the channel out. You guys are fantastic. Remember, nothing I say is financial advice. Nothing is guaranteed in this space, right? I'm just a guy on the internet. Don't take financial advice from a guy on the internet. And never invest more than you're willing to lose. Again, truly, thank y'all so much. I'm going to be doing my best to get to 100,000 subscribers. And all the support is truly appreciated. Like, I can't thank y'all enough, man. Gonna end the stream off here, and I'll catch you in the next one.